What I want to mark right now is a male top. So the length of the person is 32. The bust is 42. Then down, like under the bust towards the tummy region is 40. Then down towards the hip is 42. The shoulder of the person is 19, while the sleeve length is 8. Then we have the RSL. The RSL is 16. So what we first of all start with is the length of the person. And before we start marking the length, remember this is Ankara material. We will need to fold it down. First, we'll add 2 inches for the folding allowance. That's it here. If it is lace material, you don't need to add anything. You just start from where the lace ends and measure up. So the length of the person I said is 32. So 32 begins from here like this. So 32. This is the back of the material, the back of the 32 ends here. Remember, I'm putting the tape on the center of the dress. I'm not bringing it to this part here. Neither am I bringing it to this end, but just at the center after folding it. So this is where it ends. Then I'll add 2 inches for the dropping allowance on the shoulder of the person, so that the joining part, that line on the shoulder, will not go to the back. It will be coming towards the front. If you are an advanced learner, you understand what I'm talking about. So from here, I'll add another 2 inches. That's the back. The back is usually longer than the front. So this is it here. Then the bust part of the person is around somewhere 10 inches, around here. Then the waist part is around the middle of the dress. So that's it. This is where I call the tummy region. Then the hip part towards the down of the dress, that's the where I call the hip region. Then this is where around where it should be here. What I'll do is to divide the bust into 4. So 42 divided by 4, that should be 10 and a half. So I'll come to this place, 10 and a half. I'll mark. Then I'll add 1.5 inch to avoid shortage. Because getting towards the end, you can trim it to remain 1 inch, so that you can just fix the measurement like that. Then the tummy region, that's 40. I'll divide that one into 4 also to make it 10. So this is it, 10. Then I'll add another 1.5 inch. This one too. Then the hip region too, we have the 10 and a half coming this way again. Then I add the 1.5 inch again. Then all I'll just do is to connect these dots like this. Make sure you fold enough material that will reach the size of the person. After marking, if you find out that there's enough material still remaining, you need to scatter what you measure, clean what you have ruled, what you have marked, then readjust the material so that it will end there. That's another aspect of sewing. It's management. Some people are too lazy. They won't, after marking, they find material still remaining, they just leave it like that and cut. That's wasting of material. Now what I will do to this region now is to mark temporary ample. The ample that I'm going to mark is not permanent. I'll just mark it this way. That's what I will just do. And that's all. I talked about the in our notes we have the measurements for dividing the neck and everything, for cutting the hole of the leg. So let me cut this one now. So remember, I said this armhole is a temporary one, and the shoulder of this person is 19 divided by 2, that's 9.5. You can see after that 9.5, you still have allowance here. So you must make sure that when you are cutting the temporary armhole, it doesn't get into this region. From there, thereby making the shoulder to become short. So remember, you must still have that allowance. It's just a temporary armhole. After you have finished joining the shoulder, there's another formula again for cutting the armhole. Because I don't like measuring people's armhole down. So I have another formula again for cutting the armhole. So that's just another. Now I want to cut the neck of the person. Sometimes you can measure the neck of the person round. Then sometimes I use the shoulder of the person to I use the formula to divide the shoulder to get the depth and the width of the neck. So if I want to get the deepness now of this neck, what I will do is to divide the shoulder of the person. That's 19. I'll divide it into 4. So what I have is 4.7. That's 4.75. Remember, you must always allow half inch to come out like this. The way I'm placing this tape now. So this is the 4.75. This is where it is. So I'll mark it this way. Now, if I want to mark the width again like this, the shoulder of the person divided by 7. That's how many? 19 divided by 7. So what we have is 2.7. I will still bring another half inch out like this. So this is where the 2.7 is. The 2.7, that's 2.75. It ends here, close to 3. So the marks come like this. Then what you just need to do is to round it up this way. Now, this same width is what I'm going to be using here again. I'll still bring out the half inch again. Then the 2.7 is here. Then, if I want to get the depth of the back, I'm going to be dividing the shoulder of the person by 8. So what we have is 2.3. So I just bring out that half inch again out like this. So this is the 2.3. This way, over here like this. Remember, I'm bringing out half inch. Now we'll cut it this way like this. When we have that mark here and we have the mark here, we round it up like this. Let me show you something so that you will understand. The neck comes like this. The depth of the neck for the back also comes this way. If you watch now, if you fold it like this, you see it's not corresponding. If you watch, look at this thing, not corresponding. So we need to trim another stuff out again from there, like half inch. After you have gotten this part, which is okay, correct, beautiful, you need to mark only the back like this. Then you come here tiny like this. So it goes like this. Look at that. Then from there, you fold it on top of it. You see that now it's corresponding. So that's it for the neck. Since it's going to have flap on the center of the dress, it's not the type that has zip on the shoulder. So since it's going to have flap, all I need to do is to divide here by, I'll open this place 6 inches. But if you check our notes, you might find another figure on this side. It might be 6.5 or close to 7, so that at least the neck of the head of the person will be able to go. So what I'm doing this one now is 6 inches. That's it. If I'm going to be cutting the facing, depending on whichever way I like, the facing comes like this. That's the facing that I'm going to use to turn it, depending on the kind of design that I want to put on it. Then the back yoke also, if I like, any way I like, I just bring it down. Sometimes people ask how to make the length of the back yoke. There are other figures inside the notes. But what you can just do, you can just divide the bust into 4. We have that 10.5, right? So from that 10.5, you can use it, put the tape right on top of the shoulder of the back. From that 10.5, you can use it to get the region where the back is going to end. What I'm going to be placing on top of the back. So from there. So whichever design you like, you can give it. Any way you like, depending on how you want to turn it. So thank you. The next thing that I'll be cutting now is the sleeve again. So now I want to start with the sleeve. Remember what I told you based on the top length. That 2-inch folding allowance that we added. So I will still repeat the same thing here again. This time around, this is the mouth of the sleeve. this region is going to be the shoulder part. First, what I'll do now, that 2 inch I'm going to add from here. So this is 2 inch, 2 inches. Then I said the length of the sleeve is 8 inches. So I'll mark that 8 here. Then I add, sometimes I add 1.5 or 1 inch for the sewing allowance. Then when it's time for me to fix the sleeve, I do the proper trimming to 1/2 inch before I join it, so that it will make the sleeve will not become longer than what you actually measure. Then after this line, you can just put an imaginary line on this place like this to help us, because sometimes people find it difficult how to curve this region. So that's the reason why I'm putting this line here. In our notes, you find us adding up to like 4 inch here to start covering the line. So this one I'm going to be making it 3.5. Now, to cut this region, the shoulder part of the sleeve, you are not going to be using the round sleeve. If you use the round sleeve, so most times you find out that when you want to fit the sleeve on the top itself, the sleeve becomes short. So what you are supposed to do from the very point where you are cutting it is to divide the shoulder by 2. That's 9.5. The shoulder is 9.5. You now add 3 inches. You see, I'm adjusting now. When we have that 9.5, like this, 9.5, we add 3 inches. This is where the sleeve is. The round sleeve of the person, I said, is 16. That's it. Divided by 2. That's it. Comes here. Then I'll add 1.5 inch for the sewing allowance. So that means all we just need to do is to connect these dots like this. Remember this imaginary line that I talked about here. This here. If you have a ruler, you can place it here to know the line so that it will be straight. There are some certain things that I'm supposed to be using, but I'm not using it. So from here, you just mark your 3.5 inch, or if you like, you can make it 4 inch. It doesn't matter, it's okay. So, but what I'm doing, this one is 3 inches, 3.5 inch. Sorry, 3.5 inch. So from here to here, then that's where I will curve it to this place. So this is the sleeve. Remember, this thing happens on the bottom of a trouser. You don't just cut here straight. By the time you cut it straight, if you fold it, you have issue trying to fold the sleeve. Or if it is the bottom of a trouser, you know, the trouser comes like this also. By the time you cut here straight, you might be having issue folding it. So remember to slant here this way, so that it corresponds with this place. You can see this line, it corresponds. So that when you fold it, they meet together at the right point. You see, they meet. So don't just, sometimes even people make mistake and cut it straight like this. And when it's time for them to fold it, they have issue trying to make it correspond. So let me bring out this sleeve now. So I want to cut the back yoke now. All I just need to do is fold it back. So depending on how you want the pattern, this one I just want to get it down. So you can see on top of it like this. Then from here, if I like, I can leave it straight. If I like, I can leave it straight. Then if I like, I can do whatever style. So when it's time, all I just need to do is use iron to fold this region just here and there before I mount it on top of the back of the dress. Very neat. Perfect. The front facing. So all I need to do is place it this way. I'll make sure that the length of the facing is going to be longer than where the opening stops. So all I just did is remember to make sure that here is very, very much equal. Anything that comes out like this, if it's like this before you cut it, the facing will not be equal at all. Too balanced, too relaxed at all. After getting that piece, I open it down to the same length. Then I cut the shape of what I want. So if it's a native top that has two side pockets, if you check our notes on that should be on page 5, you see the size for cutting the two side pocket and the size for cutting the chest pocket. If it's a patch pocket, you see the size there. Thank you, and that'd be nice.
But Oga, those notes.
The first thing to do is to first use iron to fold the facing, the yoke. This is the back yoke. If you can see very well, I use iron to fold this place. So after folding it, all we just need to do is to lay the back down. So after we lay the back down, we place the yoke on top of it. So all we just need to do is to pin it. Then we run this region very clean and very tiny. Then after that, we prepare for the fronts. Who knows?